this design that we had in mind, which was sort of this nebulous, like, let's make something lighter weight that's modular and fits together and has strength because it fits together and community can be involved. Okay, so what does that look like, right? Living Shoreline's projects can be a number of different things. They can be pretty much any kind of nature-based adaptation that we do along shores that are intended to provide habitat while also providing some protection for the shore and for, in some cases, communities that would be near that shore, or it could be other natural habitats like wetlands. Maybe we might be trying to protect with an oyster reef, something like that. But we've been doing these projects in San Francisco Bay since 2010. When we do something that the public can see and we tell them about how it's being set up as an experiment, it's a real opportunity for us to show them with like a concrete example of how you would use science to make a decision. I think that the public doesn't often see those steps and they don't quite know what goes into those kinds of things. So being able to involve the public in a project like this, I think it helps with that as well. It helps them understand the process of science. So it can take a long time then, because it's going to take us 3 years of monitoring this project before we would be able to do a larger scale project using these same reef structures. And, the clock is ticking. Like the people that work in this kind of field and are thinking about sea level rise and other climate changes, we just feel the sense of urgency that if we're going to do this, we need it at a much larger scale, and we need that faster than what these projects are able to move.
Making the connection between the vista view of the bay, it's not just something that you're looking at, you're kind of integrated and connected with that place, so yeah, it's a living place for everybody, not just humans, all oysters as well.